All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm excited to share with you all of my thoughts, experience, and wisdom on this amazing topic today. And I get to share what it is or what it looks like to have $1 million day. This is per request of some of the members in the group and also some feedback that I've gotten from all the blog posts that I've been writing. People want to really understand and know what to do with their day-to-day schedule so they can be more productive and create more results in their lives and business. And I have to tell you, I've been working on this since I was 25 was when I realized that if I don't focus on my life right now and making sure that I'm doing what I need to do to eventually leave a legacy, I think I'm going to be throwing my life away. So I want you to know that this is try and true. I have taken many courses on productivity, how to be efficient, and also creating systems so that things will work. So keep in mind that everything that I'm sharing with you today is it's what I am using. So take it always with a grain of salt. It may work for you, it may not work for you, but this is an example of what it looks like for me day to day. And of course, I'm going to be sharing specific strategies with you in terms of what you can incorporate in your current schedule right now. And if you are working from scratch, beautiful. I hope you can apply to everything that I'm going to be sharing, and we'll go from there. And yeah, I would love to hear comments later on to see what's new or that you're hearing here from the training or from listening to this recording. And let's get started, shall we? So before we even go into what your day should look like, I want to establish I want to say a common ground and also the foundation of what it really takes to be successful, right? Even setting this up, following a schedule, etc. So to really be effective to where you can be $1 million earner is you have to understand three things, which is, are you disciplined? Secondly, are you productive? And are you connected to your community? Because discipline plus productivity and plus community equals results. And here's what I mean by that. Unless you are disciplined, which means that you're going to do exactly what your schedule says to do, and in the time of what you are scheduled to do, were you productive? And I'll make a distinction between discipline and productivity very soon. And you're also utilizing your community. So I mean, community for you, maybe you're just trying to straighten out your personal life. If your community is the people that you live with, is it your husband, your partner, your friend, your roommate? Are you using community to really support you in doing what you need to do? So to be able to get the results you want, you have to be disciplined, you have to be productive, and you have to rely on or lean on your community to get the results. So I'm going to give you an example. I mean, community for me is definitely my family, my husband, my caregivers, my mom, and also my staff, my team. Super important. So that's my definition of community. So for you, it may be your mentors, it may be anyone that is supportive of you and is aware of what it is that you're striving for. So discipline plus productivity plus community is going to equal results. And you can actually, once you have your schedule down, rate your performance on a daily basis, hence weekly basis, and also monthly basis. And you can see if you're scoring low on productivity, discipline, and community, chances are the results it's a reflection of that. And I'll give you an example in a little bit, but this is the formula that I actually teach my clients to use as they assess how productive they are and if they're really doing what is necessary to move their businesses forward. So don't think that this is something that I'm just giving you for the sake of sharing. No, this is what we use in our business and life. And this is what I teach my clients. So discipline plus productivity plus community equals result. Cool. Okay, we're clear on that. And how to really score is simple from a scale of 0 to 10. 0 means no effort, right? And then 10 would be ultimate, in which I really don't believe there's such thing as a 10 because there's no room for improvement. So a 9 is great. So you would want to strive for 8 or 9 on a daily basis for you to eventually score consistently 8 or 9 on weekly and monthly, things like that. And chances are what's also interesting too is if you're scoring 7, for example, on discipline, and if your productivity, because it's an average, right? Like if you score 7 on productivity or discipline, 4 on productivity, which is 11, and then you score 5 on community, right? So it's 7 plus 4, which is 11 plus 5, that's 16. 16 divided by 3, your result is a 4. So just because that it's numbers don't lie, right? Like when it comes to, just think of it like a ruler or a parameter of like what you can really see happening. So chances are, if you're not really pulling weight on one end, which is being disciplined, you're not going to be productive. And here's why I'm going to make the distinction for you. Discipline means you do what you say you would do, or you do what the schedule says you would do. But productivity really means, for example, if you give yourself an hour to do content marketing or write Facebook posts per se, were you productive in that hour? Because you can be productive and you can be disciplined, but not productive. But productivity is actually what is going to really ultimately get you the results. But then again, it's always going to be the average of the 3. You add the 3 together, you divide it by 3, and then the score will be the result. And it's very clear, you can see. So I want you to do that on a daily basis once you establish your schedule. Okay, let's move on to scheduling and what it should look like. So first of all, I want you to envision a triangle, okay, a triangle. So the top of the triangle here is you, right? We believe at Fit to Profit that the CEO has to be taking care of herself. So you come first on top of the triangle, and each side of the triangle over here and over here is business and family. So imagine like a pyramid or, a hierarchy of needs, etc. Is you on top, and then your business and your family is in parallel. Meaning, if you have a business, you're going to be doing things that's necessary for your business. You have to be doing things that's necessary for your family. And it's not going to work if you don't have this triangle figured out. And what I mean by that is really setting your priorities, okay? And if you're not on top of both of these things, I guarantee you things probably are not working in your personal life or nor your business right now. Okay, so assess, right? Like use the assessment tool that I just provided you, right? If you're not taking care of yourself, chances are you're probably not disciplined. You probably are not productive, and you're really isolated. You're not using your community, and hence you're not creating the results that you want. Okay, so straightforward. Nothing, it's not rocket science. So you have to put down what are the priorities for you on that triangle as a task on your calendar. So for me, working out is super important, right? Because I'm training for a half marathon and a marathon in January. So what does that look like on my schedule? So that would be a non-negotiable, right? Like training and exercising, working out, self-care is key. So that's important. And self-development, is it important to you? Whether you're reading a new book every single month or whatever it may be, are you learning a new skill? It could be a hobby that you're trying to pick up, learning how to play golf, for example. That's what I'm doing. And also, confession here, you will laugh. I don't think I should call myself a swimmer because I don't know how to tread water. And and I can hold my breath swimming from one side of the pool to the other. I don't think you consider that swimming. So I have committed to myself, because I'm prioritizing myself, to learn how to swim, especially now we're living in Florida. So that's a priority for me, to learn something new, to learn how to swim, because I want to be able to eventually do triathlons. So I'm just giving you the examples of what's important to you, what are your priorities, and what are your non-negotiables. So you come first, and then the business and family are in parallel. And then within that, what's on the left side is business, the right side is family. What do you need to do in your business, right? Prioritize as well. And I can tell you, I've been talking about marketing and sales, etc. So it's marketing, sales, and then building a team. Marketing is always senior to sales. Marketing is always first, and then sales, and then building a team. And if you're not building a team yet, don't worry about that. You have to prioritize your business. You have to be doing something that is marketing related, prospecting, lead generation, whatever you want to call it. That is your top priority in your business, no matter what kind of business you have. Okay, so that's a given, right? So all of your business activities, and then your family, what's important to your family. So for example, quality time is super important for us. So I schedule that in there, and usually we do that on the weekend. I have homework for my daughter on the schedule because that's what's important. And then we have lessons for them, like they're taking swim lessons, they're doing improv and drama classes, etc. So all of those things are on the list of family activities. So as soon as you're sure of what are your priorities and what you want to focus on, you being on top, business and family on each side, write down everything that you need to do for each category. Then you plug them into your schedule, right? And starting with the morning, like what do you do? And literally put everything down on your schedule. And I mean, I can definitely share my schedule with you really quickly here. And you can see that I have everything down. I'm not sure if my schedule is pulled up right now, but I can get to that. Literally, right? Like you can see here, I have everything from the morning routine. I usually get up between 4:30 and 5:30, etc. And here, everything is on my schedule, training, and all the way through when I go to bed. So the only time that it's clear or white on my calendar is when I'm asleep. Okay, so you have to put every single thing down on your calendar and go from there. And that's basically, what, like, to be really disciplined, productive, so that way you get the results that you want. Okay, so I'll move on to a couple of strategies that I have personally used that's super effective in prioritizing all of my tasks and to do, and to be efficient in terms of time management. I wouldn't say time management. It's just like you have to make time for what's important to you. So it's controlling time more so than managing time. It's like, it's almost like the opposite. I feel like if you're really running around, and realizing that you're wasting time, etc., and you don't have a lot of time, it's like time is actually managing you instead. So rather than having that mindset, I want to invite you to the concept of controlling time versus managing time. Okay, so the two biggest, I guess, transformations that I have found in making sure that I have the most productive schedule, first is time blocking, meaning I do similar activities together. Because here's the thing, when you're focusing on one particular task and doing it long enough, your brain, first of all, is in flow. And you're in flow, it doesn't take as much energy and you're more focused. So for example, I take clients' calls back to back on a certain day. Okay, and I do Zoom meetings back to back on a certain day. I do trainings and also content creation on a certain day. Why? Because my brain, you work different parts of the brain depends on the activity. And when it comes to creation, content creation and coming up with trainings, it's working the creativity part of your brain. So it's all similar, right? Meeting people and talking to people, you have to be more, alert, and same thing. You want to be doing similar activities. And then problem solving, part of the brain, right? I'm not going to get technical, will be when you're talking to clients. So if you can do it back to back, you'll be more in flow and you'll be more focused. So that's one strategy that I live, breathe, and sleep by: time blocking. Okay. And really categorizing similar activities together on the same day so you can be more productive. So when you're shifting from one activity to a completely different strategy or activity, your brain is going to take more time to adjust and it's going to be hard for you to focus. So that's my tip for you. And then the second tip, super important, is create systems with everything. You guys, there's so many tools these days for you to be able to track everything, and everything is automated so you don't have to think about it. Here are some examples. So I use, as I showed you earlier, is a Google Calendar. So everything is on there. It's also connected to my phone. So when I am out and about and if I have to get a call from a client or prospective client, whatever it may be, I can go straight to my phone and adjust the schedule on my phone. So that's super efficient. You want to have an electronic calendar. I know for some of you, you're probably still using paper and things like that. It's actually not productive, because here's the thing. You write it down, whether in pen or pencil. When you need to change it, you have to cross it out, and then you have to rewrite the new date and time. I feel like that's a waste of time and effort. I don't care if it's like 3 seconds. You can use that 3 seconds to do something else, right? And then, I mean, depends on how you're meeting the people. You might have to go into your calendar later, or Zoom or Calendly or whatever. It's like you're doubling your effort. So why not use Google Calendar or an electronic calendar that's really going to serve you and your busy lifestyles? And there is every single software for every single situation out there. And also, last but not least, with creating systems, it's important that everybody in your family's on the same page. And, I've learned from, being apart from my husband, because he's still traveling, for work. And for me to really have a system down where I don't have to take the extra time to tell him, to attend a particular activity and things like that, I use Google Calendar. So if it's a PTO meeting that I want him to be a part of, I would add him as invite him as an attendee on my Google Calendar, so that way that he has it. So I don't have to put it in my calendar and then text the extra time to go tell him, because what I found, and of course how I figure out this system, is I found that sometimes I forget to tell him, and then it becomes a mess. So that is how you can create systems. You create systems for every single thing in your life, especially in your business. That's how you can make the most out of the 24 hours a day that you have. And honestly, my clients ask me all the time, how do you do all of that? Well, I have systems for everything. I have system for everything. I have a lot of help. I mean, you just have to take advantage of today's technology and use it to to your advantage. I mean, I can't stress that enough. So time blocking, creating systems for everything, and being really conscientious on, are you really wasting your time? Are you making more time? If you really understand time is money, you will actually cherish your time even more, because you can always make more money, but you cannot get your time back. There's no way to get your time back. So if you either sacrifice time or money, but I'd rather sacrifice money because I can make unlimited amounts, but there's a limited amount of time. So the reason why people don't understand this concept is they think that they have to go out and make more money. No, you can be more productive with your time. Hence, you can eventually make more money if you understand how to not waste it. Okay, so that's that. And then some really basics, which are non-negotiables for some of us too. I'm going to give you some examples of what it can create you the $1 million day, the $1 million schedule, is that what's really important, because here's the thing, right? We talked about having physical, mental, emotional, and spiritually being fit here at, Fit to Profit. We talk about really making sure that you have enough rest and recovery. So literally the number one thing that you should really look at your schedule, forget about what I already said all above, you, business, family. If you have nothing to put down at the moment, I want to say the 3 things that you have on your calendar, and should have on your calendar, if you don't already, this is where you start. What time do you go to sleep? What time you go to sleep at night dictates what time you wake up in the morning. And to be well, to be clear-minded, to be focused, to be energetic, to be, creative, you have to give your body, your brain, especially, the rest it needs. And every single person needs at least between 7 to 9 hours, depends on, who you are. And it has to be quality sleep too. And before we even go into quality sleep, make sure you go to sleep at a consistent time almost every single night. It doesn't have to be on the dot, but give yourself a window. The window for us is between 8 and 9, because I get up between 4 and 5 in the morning, and I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So unless you can get down to bed early enough, you're not going to be able to get up early enough. I literally just had a client ask me, I'm oversleeping and I'm ignoring my alarm. What's going on? And we had to come down to really asking, well, what time are you going to bed? Because you can't expect your body to be well rested enough to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but if you're going down at midnight. So consider that's the first most important thing that you can do in your schedule right now, is figure out what time you're going to sleep. What time are you waking up? You have to give your body enough time and rest. And then last but not least, I shared this on my personal profile the other day on Facebook, the importance of writing down your goals. The importance of writing down your goals every single morning, and then at night. And at nights, perhaps maybe you don't have the journal to write, but I would recommend you have a journal right by your bed, right before you go to bed. Write down all of your goals. And it could be, the most outrageous goal, but our brain consciously and subconsciously are hooked on to solve problems. So if you write down these goals, consider that these goals are the problems that your brain want to be hooked onto to solve. So while you're sleeping, believe it or not, your brain is processing, oh my goodness, she wants to be a bestseller. How are we going to do that, right? So basically, that is why it's so important to write down your goals at night. And then in the morning, it helps motivate you to see, wow, these are the things that I'm actually working toward, right? At night, it's like you're programming yourself, and you're really priming your brain to really problem solve these goals that you're trying to achieve. The morning habit of writing down your goals gets me super focused on what it is that I need to do today, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's everything. It's not always business related. In fact, for the goals that I write down are, 75% of them are family related. Like, my kids are healthy and thriving, like I am well respected in my community, etc. I do philanthropy work and whatever. So write it down. Right? 3 things that you could do right now that ensure you're going to eventually get there, making sure that you can be more effective and also productive, is making sure that you get enough rest, making sure that you are clear on your goals. And then just like that, you get up at the same time every morning, you go to bed at the same time every night. Guess what? Does that create discipline? Absolutely. Right? That creates discipline. Then you're well rested. You can definitely be more productive. Then you can work on getting your community, your family, your friends, your staff, your team on the same page. Then you can create the results that you want to create in your life and business. So it's like really fundamental. It's really, I want to say it's simple, but it's hard to do because usually we're not disciplined. Okay. So honestly, I'm so excited about this topic and I had to share it with you. And I hope that you can take some tips from my schedule. And please let me know if you have any comments, any questions, please reach out and I'll be happy to help with whatever I can. But this is exactly what I do day to day. This is what I recommend for my clients to do every day. And this is how we can ensure that we're on our way to creating millions of dollars. All right, that is it, guys. I will see you next week.